Do you have a 150cc buggy with a QMJ157 motor in it? We have a kit that will upgrade that motor in a major way. The stock motor is about 7.5 horsepower. This will pump it to about 13 horsepower. Let me show you what's in the kit. These are all of the upgrade parts that are in the kit to make that 150cc buggy a 172cc and make it with reliable power. It's important that you check your engine code. This is our QMJ157 or 157 QMJ. With the, this is for the buggies, so you got the reverse, the neutral, and drive. So I'm going to spin this around. I'll show you where your engine code's got to be. It's got to look exactly like this. It should say 1P57 QMJ. It actually doesn't have to have that P in it. The P is a head design, but very important that you know that number is correct before you order any parts, because this kit is for this engine in particular. Even though your engine might look like this, it has to have those numbers. To start, this is our big bore kit. It comes with the cam, cylinder, and head. The head has bigger valves, bigger intake port, and bigger exhaust port. This makes a giant difference over stock. The next thing that we do is we do a 61mm drop-in cylinder, so you don't need to bore your engine cases at all. This is the biggest you can go without boring your engine cases. It's a 61mm. The other thing that we added was a dome-style piston. These buggies are pretty heavy, and we want as much compression as we want on the as we can get on the bottom here. So that's our high compression 172cc big bore kit. Then we've got our ProBld camshaft. This sucker is going to open the valves longer at a different duration than stock, resulting in more performance. So this part right here is a must. This is going to be the best bang for your buck in this entire kit. And it comes with 2 gaskets. You can make your compression even higher with a thinner base gasket, or you can do the thick gasket. We're probably going to do the thin gasket. It comes with the head gasket and the timing chain tensioner gasket there. Both circlips and the piston pin. Because it's a high compression engine, it's very important that we add a high torque starter. Otherwise the stock starter is going to have a hard time turning over. This is going to go hand in hand with this high torque starter clutch. The stock clutch only has 4 sprags. Actually, some even have 3 sprags. This is spragless. It's got a ton of bearings in there. This is a high compression starter clutch. So it's going to be able to crank over that motor really easy. Because it's a buggy, we want to keep it really cool. There's a lot of load on that motor because they're so heavy. We're going to install a oil pump, larger oil pump. This gives it 20% more oil than the stock oil pump. I would also recommend that you add an oil cooler too, but it's not completely necessary. We're not including it in this kit, but you can add it. Next, this is more of a maintenance thing. This is our magnetic drain plug kit. So you've got there's going to be 3 drain plugs in the motor. One for the final drive, one for the, and actually 2 for the motor, and then we have extra crush washers that are in that kit. So that's just going to catch the metal shavings that might fly around. You shouldn't have any metal shavings, but it's just an added barrier. So that's in this kit. Next, we've got our ProBld variator and our TFC forged clutch with Kevlar belt. This is our Zen CVT transmission kit. Normally, we would do a Ravino clutch, but because it's a heavy buggy, we have no choice but to use the next best thing, and that's this TFC forged clutch and variator. This variator is pretty sweet. It's a lightweight variator. It's got the fan integrated, so to keep it cool when you put the cover back on. We've got a titanium nut with a washer. We've got 10, 11, and 12 gram rollers. This variator is the best on the market. We worked with Ravino and we tested this up against what we thought was the best variator on the market at the time, the NCY variator. The ramps are really aggressive. If you know anything about variators, let me pop this thing off here really quick. We got the really aggressive ramps there. Really great variator. One thing that's uncommon is for these to come with a variator boss. This one comes with the variator boss. Of course, the 10, 11, and 12 gram rollers. Moving on to the clutch. This is a forged traditional style clutch. Normally we would run the Ravino, of course, but this is the next best thing. This is a traditional clutch, but it's forged, which makes it even better. And the cool thing is we've got this spring bearing, or ProBld spring bearing. This goes up underneath the GY6 concha spring, so you got a really nice, smooth CVT transmission. It's also going to come with the Kevlar belt, short case belt. That's our Zen transmission kit. Because we're going with the bigger 171cc, we want to go with the 28mm PWK style carburetor with the cable and the jets. However, we will offer two options. This is the entire kit for the carbureted version, but we do have a fuel injection version. Let me show you that. So I removed the carburetor and we added the fuel injection system and a charging system upgrade. So let me explain. Fuel injection system is the best of the best. This is way better than any carburetor, but it is a little bit expensive, but in my opinion, you're either going to spend your time or your money. This is money well spent, and this is 100% auto-tune. 3 wires wires it up. It's 100% plug and play, and it auto-tunes for atmospheric pressure. So you buggy guys, you go up in the mountains, maybe you're in the desert, you're in all these different atmospheric pressures, it's going to auto-tune. No changing jets out. Okay, so this EFI system, like I said, there's some wires that come with it, but you're going to replace the fuel pump. Looks just like this. You'll get that fuel pump. You'll get fuel line. This is your return line. You need to drill a hole into your old gas tank and returns fuel back into it. This is the hardware for that. And you'll have to weld a little nut into your exhaust because there's an O2 sensor that sniffs the exhaust. Looks like this. And it will report back to this computer so it can auto-tune. So there is some things that you have to do. Also, the stator needs to be replaced. Let me kind of move over here. The stator actually needs to be replaced because most QMJ157 engines come with an 8-pole. This is an 11-pole. This is our 11-pole charging system upgrade kit. It's important that you have this because the EFI system is not going to work without at least an 11-pole. Come with the rectifier, regulator. So this is all plug and play, and then this is the harness that goes back to it. So it's really easy. The stator plugs in there, harness plugs in right here, and then the positive and negative goes back to the battery. So you bypass any rectifier, regulator, and stator that you had in there from before. With that said, back to the EFI. You'll get a new magneto. Notice all these pickups. This is so the crank knows where it's at in its rotation at all times. This is highly advanced compared to the carburetor version. It also comes with its own ignition coil and CDI box that's built in. So not only are you eliminating the carburetor, fuel pump, CDI box, coil, rectifier, regulator, new stator, magneto, and then you have a harness. So it's a lot more stuff, but man, these things really rock. 5-axis CNC, 28mm port. That'll match the big bore kit. This is the bee's knees. So again, we offer two options, EFI and carbureted. So here's the kit. Let me show you how to install all these pieces. This install is actually the whole motor is going out to a family fun center, and it's going into one of their go-karts. So we won't be able to show you how the EFI and stuff goes, but the motor parts we will be able to show you how they go in. But you're gonna freaking love the power on this. It converts it from 7.5 horsepower to around 13 horsepower. So here it is, the 171cc competition buggy motor. You can buy it as a kit, or you can buy it completely built, just like this, with the fuel injection, the 171cc, the high torque starter, the high volume oil pump, the oil cooler, which we would add to this build, and the Zen CVT transmission kit. Appreciate you guys. See you in the next video.